Spider-Man say? He says, suck where flesh flies. That's... All this sounds wrong. This is stupid. Guys, this is fucking stupid. Shit. Fuck, I guess we're marveling.
We're almost there. We're almost to the final of phase.
Mm-hmm. We're almost going to phase out.
We're going to phase it. We're going to phase it out. Yeah.
Yeah, that's what they say. They call it the phase out.
The phase out.
We're about to hit the big phase out, and then we're going to phase in.
Right.
That's when they're going to split us into two teams. You know what I mean? The B team will go on and remember a whole, like, Disney movies or something.
And then there's the blink, where he blinks and the universe dies.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
We got all that. We got all that waiting for us. But first...
So excited.
Should we mention that this is MARVELIN, a show where we remember the MCU?
I don't know how they could be confused about that. That it's sung many times in our intro.
That's
the intro sings with this many times. Yeah, but we want to get everything right and perfect. So it is MARVELIN.
It's the oral history of the Marvel Universe. I think we've been doing really well so far.
I think so. I've heard that, like, when they write a new Marvel movie, they just listen to our podcast now.
Yeah.
Because they find that easier than watching the movie.
Yeah, like those two Nazis that George R.R. Martin hired.
Exactly.
I know what you're talking about. You see how I contributed? I was like, yeah, I do. Yep.
I don't actually know. We don't need to get into that.
Okay.
I kind of want to get into it.
I kind of want to hear about that.
Another podcast.
Yeah, we can do that for another podcast. Nazi is a strong word.
Okay. I agree.
You're right. Nazi
it's still
is
a strong word.
Strong word. They just
still means something in this country.
They objected to the presence of black people in House of the Dragon.
So like racists work.
Yeah, and they're like there can't be. There's two fans basically that maintain all of the lore and background of Westeros because there's something like over 1,000 named characters, and George Martin's like, I don't fucking know.
And so two maniacs were like,
he
can we
depends
do
on
it?
these
And he's
maniacs,
like, sure.
who just maintain like the Wikipedia, and it's like, oh, that's these guys, and then of course everything's going fine. Then House of the Dragon comes out, and there's black actors playing Targaryens, and these two chuckle fucks are like, now hang on.
Now,
so we're
real
like
quick,
those
Mr. Martin,
guys.
we have a report for you.
Yeah.
First of all, we've been assembling all the dishes that you mentioned. Some of them are quite tasty, sir. Some of them are very tasty. Anyway,
you bring up a good idea. We should start a Marvel wiki.
We should.
Oh,
the leading Marvel wiki.
Yeah.
Holy shit! If I wanted to work on that,
yeah.
Oh, that is my favorite idea about this project so far.
Yeah.
We'd be the final word. We'd be the last word on Marvel. Man.
I'd want it to have a comment section, even though wikis don't normally do that, just so I could just feed off of the comment section.
Oh, it'd be great.
I would devise some sort of machine that would create power based off the comment section of our wiki.
I gotta tell you,
would save
some
the
sort of
world.
life device.
Yeah.
Pop culture fans would hurl you in a van, Dave. they would kidnap your ass immediately.
Yeah. My life device will turn it all into immortal energy.
For a celebration, obviously, because
right.
they're going to be like, you did it. You explained Marvel better than anybody
You saved culture.
Here's our celebration bag over your head. We're gonna wrap it right over your neck, just like that.
On that subject, what are we saving today? What movie are we
appropriately, because this will be coming out, I guess, relatively close to the 4th of July.
USA chants, get him ready.
Oh, man. NASCAR man himself, Captain NASCAR, Colonel American, the Fast Avenger.
Yes.
That's the right rank, too. That's like more of a field marshal job. I like that.
Yeah.
You know,
so you have a lot of responsibility and a lot of strategy, but you're still boots on the ground.
Yeah, every colonel I've ever seen is a soldier first.
Exactly. Yeah, soldier first. Soldier first.
Soldier first.
Definitely.
I'm so excited to talk about this movie.
Me too.
It's Chris Pratt. It's
that's
Stucci.
right.
Stucci's in there though.
Yeah.
I know Stucci is in there.
Stucci's in there.
The Stooch.
I think he's playing notable character Aaron Rodgers, who remains a
Tucci?
stalwart. No. Chris Pratt. Chris playing Aaron Rodgers.
Chris Pine?
Yeah. Let's settle on what you remember, Tom. What do you remember?
Yeah.
I remember Chris Previns.
And
I also remember Chris Previns playing
we're
Aaron
gonna-
Rodgers.
Playing Aaron Rodgers, who was a skinny little shrimp. Skinny
What a
little
body.
shrimp, World War II.
What a fucking body. Like, if I've ever seen a person with a body in a movie that I feel like invites comments, that body in that movie invites comments. You know
Oh,
what I
yeah.
mean? Like, the CG of it invites comments. We got to
Yeah.
talk about that.
It's
Anyway.
like
So
it's like they, it's like they stuck a man's head on like a tamaran. Like it's really alarming.
It just, you can't look at it for very long. It's
Yeah,
like
it looks
staring at
like-
the sun.
Looks like an
You can't do
IKEA
it.
you built wrong.
It really does. Like, somebody get that kid an Allen wrench.
It's like
You know
no,
what I mean?
no,
It's like
no.
Yeah.
It's the thing of bookcases.
Oh God. Mm-hmm. So this movie opens at the World's Fair in the year
25.
19... Okay.
No.
25.
No,
No, that's the Prince
we
song.
need to remember.
I was just being fun.
Ah.
No, it's in the 40s. You know,
Yeah.
it's in
Oh,
like
okay.
1944. We'll
Right.
say it's right. It's
Basically-
right as America is about to cruise on into World War II.
Basically,
Got it.
the beginning of American history. if you treat movies as history, which we often
yeah.
do,
This
it's
is where
kind of where
World War II
America
is the
begins.
first thing. Well, technically, Cowboys is the first thing that happened.
Right. There's
So
Cowboys.
first there was Cowboys, and after Cowboys, there was World War II.
Right. There was a combat of the gods in the ether we call the Civil War. Nothing else happened though.
Yeah,
and out of
there was
that
like a long
primordial soup,
shared dream
yeah, out of
that
the
all
primordial haze
Earth's warriors had. Yeah,
emerged World War II.
on the shores
yes.
of time.
So Rogers is walking the World's Fair with his pal
Yeah.
Bricky Barnes, and they go to see Iron Man
Brickhouse
Senior.
Bar.
Brickhouse Barnes.
They go to see Iron Man Senior, right? And
Yeah.
he's like, I made a flying car,
Zinkman.
and
Yeah. Yep.
and they're like, cool.
That's pretty
like
sweet.
they like it, yeah,
He's like, I've lived my whole life on shore leave. Is like one of the lines he says, I believe.
right.
Anyway.
And
they're
he's
very
got-
happy.
they're like-
he's got a mustache that says he has had sex with every woman at the World's Fair.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah.
Oh, Howie,
He definitely
Howie
has
Stark.
he's
Yeah.
given mustache
Howie
rides
Stork.
at the World Fair.
The thing's like a lady lasso.
They call
Oh,
him
yeah.
they call
Yeah.
him Howie Stork because he's delivering babies.
Oh yeah, he's got World's Fair face for sure.
He does.
I remember
he can't,
that.
He can't exist outside of like retrofuturism. He's not allowed.
Yeah.
No. Completely.
He's like
and-
a ghost. You have to remain in these boundaries. Like,
And Rogers is like, gee, I want to be buff, right? He wants to be swole up.
yeah, he says,
And he's
GI,
not.
want to be a GI.
Ah, yes. Oh, there's a recruitment tent,
Right.
and
He
they're
has
like,
all of the health problems.
Yeah.
Right.
They
He
take like
has,
one drop of his
rickets.
blood.
Like,
Yeah.
he's like it's not just that he is too small. Like there's a
you're
very
gonna die in
specific. There's a
30
very
seconds.
specific height requirement to be in the military because of the size of the equipment. All has to be relatively uniform. So it's
Right.
actually pretty narrow. You can be too tall as well as too short to be in the military. This motherfucker is beyond too short. Like they shouldn't have even let him in the tent.
Right.
Right.
Like there
He's
is
like a
nothing
pug.
he can do in the military.
Yeah.
They do a couple of taps on his knees. He's got no reflexes. He's got fucking scurvy. Like
he would-
he just like lice are
thumb
flying
falls
off his
off.
body.
Put
Yeah.
him in a plane, he'd slide right out of the harness like a toddler in a roller coaster. Like
It's one of those things where
I'm very sorry, Aaron Rodgers. There is nothing you can do for us.
He is the opposite of a superhero here.
Yeah.
Like
Yeah.
he is
Yeah.
so weak that it is superhuman how weak he is.
yeah, he's missing glass.
Superhumanly feeble.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Like
And then if I remember, so there, and then of course Bricky is like the
Yeah.
opposite. They're
Yeah.
like, yeah, we love
Yeah.
Bricky. Bricky's in.
Ricky also
He's-
has sex phase.
To be clear,
He's like, I've also had sex with a lot of these women.
yeah.
Some of
Brickhouse
these
is
guys.
like
Really anyone.
And you.
A lot of people.
Check the records.
We've had you guys. You remember? He's like, yeah, of course I remember.
Check your records. I was there.
We've been friends since the turn of the century. We've experimented. We experimented at the Watering Hole.
Brickhouse doesn't strike you as being anything other than an above average guy.
He seems a little. He actually seems a little aloof in this one.
Yeah, a little bit.
Like he doesn't. Like I remember in my first take of this before old Buckster, old Brickhouse gets developed, thinking like, oh, okay, he's going to be kind of like an asshole.
Yeah, it's gonna become like a villain type at some point.
Yeah, which does happen in those comic books.
Yeah.
So man, I wonder if it's going to happen in these films.
And then so Tooch kind of like he's in the corner, right? And he's like, "Psst, hey kid, come here. I'll juice you up."
I got an idea
I'm Stanley
for
Tucci.
that body of yours.
Yeah, I'm a
got some
fucked up
ideas.
scientist.
He grills him though. He asks him some trivia questions, like to gauge his personality, just to make sure he's not a psychopath.
Yeah.
Right.
Before he injects him with God juice, like immortal
Right.
God juice. That,
Well,
like,
doesn't he? Wait,
It
Doesn't
takes a
he
little
go
while for the
to-
God juice to happen.
is that it? Because I remember. So like he, for some reason, Tommy Lee Jones is in this movie.
Yeah.
he
Angry.
sure
that-
fucking is.
He's really
that,
mad about
like-
it. Not happy
wait-
that he's in the movie.
Yeah, I wake up at night realizing that all of a sudden,
Yeah,
just
yeah.
like, what was he doing in that?
Yeah. Yeah.
I wish listeners, I wish you could see the video portion of this because I visibly had whiplash
Yeah.
to the mention of Tommy Lee Jones' name.
There's a Marvel. One of my favorite Marvel traditions is when they go to an old actor and they go like, "Listen, we're Marvel. We will put you in this. We will give you millions of dollars.
You can just
you
do
wanna
one."
Be, right, and they're like, "Do you want to be Red Skull? What do you want to be?" And he's just like, "I want to be a walk-on.
Yeah.
I just want your money." And you get to have me in it.
I wanna be
it
Tommy
Robert
Lee
Redford
Jones.
or Tommy Lee Jones or
Yeah.
whoever.
Yeah.
I'm not going to
And
even
they're like, fine.
pretend not to hate you. I'm going to hate
Yeah.
you on camera.
Yeah. I'm gonna hate
which
the
he does.
shit out of everything around me.
Yep.
I'm gonna
Right.
hate the shit out of the effect shot where I'm supposed to be driving a Jeep. I'm not gonna sell it. I'm not gonna sell it at all.
I'm no selling all of this. I'm just going to I'm going to scowl at everything.
Yeah. Cruising
great.
through
He
here
should
like
have played.
Ming.
Can you imagine if he was the new Doctor Doom? If
Yeah,
in that
I can.
announcement
And I
the
would've.
mask came off and not Robert Downey Jr. but Tommy Lee Jones as this character, I would be so much happier about that.
Are you guys Avengers? I don't think so, young man.
I don't
You got
think so,
Dr.
young man.
Doom and you have Dr. Doom to deal with, and he's not very pleased to see you.
I'm taking the power of the Beyonder. Now there's
play
nowhere left
Dr.
for you to hide
Doom.
from me.
I want him to every time he says his own name, he says Dr. Dune and nobody corrects him.
Dr. Dune has taken the power of the Beyonder.
All right, so he goes. All right.
Just he's
All right.
getting it wrong, and no one says shit because they're so
they're
scared
like,
of him.
"Listen, it's a
They're so
miracle
scared
he's
of him.
here." Yeah.
That would be a great. I really would like that bit.
Yeah,
I want the bit of like genuinely in a Marvel movie, like when they have Doctor Doom, like or the next like big fearsome villain, have them just consistently get something very wrong, and no one will correct them.
We almost got that with Harrison Ford as Red Hulk,
Yeah,
where
yes.
it was clear
Yes.
that they paid him just enough to care.
Yeah.
And so it was like, damn, I wish you paid him a little less so he cared just a little less so we would get that version of him.
Yeah.
But he's like doing a good job in that. And
He
I'm like,
is.
damn
Yeah,
it.
he showed up. Yeah.
Yeah, I wish he didn't care.
I've seen better thunderbolts in the Texas sky. I will shatter you.
God, I want that. So so he goes to boot camp. So Tooch is like, I'm gonna get you in. Like, doesn't he like sign him up? Like he's like, I have an in with the army.
So just to
So
be
I'm
clear,
gonna
they-
sign you up.
They do a test for heart. Like, how much heart does this guy have? Like, he's a fucking planeteer, right?
He's got like
that's the thing,
20% heart.
well, physically, he's got 20%.
Physically.
Emotionally, he's got 500%. Like, the man
Yeah.
is made of morals. His morals are keeping his blood pumping.
Right.
Every
But they put him
every
in boot
morning,
camp.
his heart grows like the Grinch's. Like just
Yeah.
every morning.
Yeah. Yeah, yeah.
They put him into boot camp just to like see how funny that would be, because again they could juice him up at any part.
Right. What's
Point,
the
but
point
they're
of
like,
it?
what if we put the little guy in boot camp? But we think that'll be fun for everyone.
Well, that's the
right?
Tommy Lee Jones hates the choice because he he has his favorite, who's the guy that's like the most fit, but also he's like a bully, and he's violent. And Stooch is like, no, we're going to put it in Aaron Rodgers because he has all the qualities that I'm looking for. They're all the intangible qualities.
Okay, so it's a boot camp to see who gets juiced?
Yes.
Do they only have one juice?
Yes.
I think it's such a deadly procedure is the idea that they only want to try it on the perfect guy.
They also only have one at the time. They only, because Stooch dies and the recipe dies with him.
So I kind of understand Tommy Lee Jones's point of view,
100%.
which is we have this juice that's going to make someone
do this
swole.
once, yeah.
And so Stanley Tucci is like, well, how about this skinny guy? If we juice him, he will become an average guy. And it's like, well, no, we want to start with a muscular guy.
Hell, I can
and then
teach him
make
to be
him
nice.
double muscular. Like that's what we want.
Hell, stick it in me. I'll do it.
Right?
Give me the shield. I don't care.
They should have started with like Bucky. He would have been like the Hulk when they came out, right? That would have been better.
Bricky Brickhouse Barnes, you mean?
Yeah.
Yeah,
Right.
he wouldn't have gotten frozen in the ice. He would have stopped Red Skull. He would have stopped Hitler.
He would have
stopped.
He
it
would have
all.
grabbed Red Skull by the mouth and just ripped him in half.
Yeah,
That would have been fun
But
to watch.
Yeah.
So he goes from World's Fair to boot camp, right? There's nothing in between.
There's nothing
That's
in
how-
between.
I
Don't
remember
they
He gets
sort
shot
of
out
date
of
women?
a cannon from the World's Fair. To boot camp.
that. Right.
Just briefly, I also remember he was shot out of a cannon. But weren't they on dates briefly whilst being shot out of the cannon? I think they
Yeah,
were.
and Bricky Brickhouse, I think, ends up with both gals.
Yeah, he's killing
Oh,
it.
Because
he-
Aaron
he
Rodgers,
double
he's not
teams them?
interested.
Yeah.
He really wants to go fight, and he
I'm
feels
too patriotic for dates.
He feels really
Right.
really crummy that he can't go
Yeah.
fight.
Yeah.
But Bricky is the cream in that Oreo.
Oh,
and
yeah.
So like
Yeah,
he
yeah,
goes
yeah.
off.
He's
and
like, look,
fucks
man,
twice.
I'm gonna make this sandwich.
Yeah. You can get in on this. We can double stuff this.
Yeah, we can make
if
this
you
double
want,
stuff. We can make this a
Rogers,
double
but
stuff Hydrox because I don't know
No,
that Oreo
Rogers is-
exists at this point in time.
He's too pure. He's waiting for his best gal to show up.
Yeah.
Right? He's
Yes.
like, I
Yeah.
know I have a best gal somewhere out there.
Yeah. I want to talk about the
I'm gonna
best gal.
smooch your granddaughter in 90 years.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Fuck yeah, I am.
Yeah. Yeah.
We're gonna
gonna fuck her
almost have
family.
sex.
Yeah. So okay. He goes to the boot camp. Tommy Lee Jones lines them all up, and he's like, "I'm Tommy Lee Jones. I hate the little guy. I like the big guy.
Right.
I'm gonna make you all soldiers." Grenade, right? Doesn't he drop a grenade just on them?
It's in this beginning part. We also meet his best gal in this part, do we not? Agent Peggy Carter,
Yeah. She works for an intelligence wing, isn't that right? Like
British.
yes.
Oh yeah, what is
British
she doing
intelligence.
there?
It's one of those things
Or
like
Like
when
Shield.
change?
Like I think it's
Yeah,
the
the
nascent
Allied.
version. I think it's the nascent version of Shield, right?
Yeah. The Allied powers had many experiments. You know, World War II, right?
What's the British version of Shield? Is it Crest? Do
Probably
they call it? Yeah.
armor,
Okay, that makes sense.
bulwark,
Oh, bulwark, definitely. Also
guard,
an acronym.
probably guard.
Yeah.
Yeah. Guard. So he drops the grenade, and Rogers is like, "I want to die."
Yep, he
And
shoves it
jumps
down the
on
front
it.
of his pants.
Because again, he's like a chihuahua that can't breathe
He
well.
shoves
He's
it
just
down the
begging
front
for
of his
death.
pants and just starts yelling up at the sky.
Yes, he's like, "Get
Yeah.
away! Get away!"
Yeah.
He says,
then it's
"Launch
a-
me to Germany."
It's a prank grenade. Tommy Lee Jones keeps prank grenades on him, right?
Yes.
That's how you do military in World War II. I don't know if you know this, Dave. Did you know we had a prank militia in World War II?
Huh.
We did. Did you know that? I learned
What was that for?
It
like
was
the soldiers
like a
they didn't
militia
like,
that
they were
did
like put him in
pranks?
that one.
Like running around
so
putting rubber
this
chickens in people's
This is real
sleeping
fucking
bags?
history. This is real history, as real as everything we're remembering.
Yeah.
The Allied forces had decoy militia that they parked on the shore on D-Day to trick the Germans to thinking they had an army going one place.
Oh, yeah.
So that when we invaded Normandy, they were confused by the inflatable army. That is a real thing that happens.
Oh, they're inflatable. I was
They're
hoping
decoy.
it was like. Oh, I was hoping it was like the people
Like
in their army they
fishermen.
didn't like. Yeah, or like the ones that just kind of sucked, and then those guys get old and they're like, I was there on D-Day, but they're not telling anybody they were amongst the inflatable army.
That would be an
Couple
amazing
of drunk
screenplay.
tugboat captains
Yeah.
Yeah,
not being told what they're doing. Here's $100.
We used to do a lot of stuff before we had like drones. Like we knew we wanted stuff like drones, but we used to like they tried timing bombs to cats, which didn't work.
And
it
also
turns out.
bats.
Yeah.
Which
it turns out the cats would just blow up their own stuff.
The bats worked to the degree of I mean, they froze the bat so they could attach the bombs. And when they did the test release of the bombs, the bats hadn't fully awakened yet, so they just fell to the earth just like regular bombs. Right. So that was kind of a success.
So they're like, we invented bombs.
So we used a little bit of a success.
We didn't really need the bats on them.
That's why they have that sound. That's the sound of a bat dying.
Right.
Also, just to be clear, all these ideas came from Tommy Lee Jones. Every idea we've discussed came from him. He's the brain.
Anybody ever thought about putting a bomb on a bat?
That's what it feels like, is that there was a point where people are like, well, we haven't tried this yet. What if it's really good? Like, what if it works really well and we're going to be doing this for the next 100 years? We might as well try. And so, like, the super soldier serum is this, like, we got this, like, Nazi doctor who says that he has, like, a juice that'll make you strong. You want to throw that in one of these dudes? And it's like, sure. What's the worst that can happen? They'll die? It's fine. You know, like, fuck it. Let's get this scrawny kid, throw a grenade at him, a prank grenade, and we're going to juice him. We're going to juice him up.
Shoves it down the front of his pants.
I think it's also a non-zero chance that Tommy Lee Jones was just trying to kill one of the soldiers. He's like, fucking grab the fake one.
Try to thin
my
the
mistake,
hair.
gentlemen. My mistake.
So he proves he has the power of heart, and then he graduates boot camp.
I think they
with
just
honors.
one night they're like, you have passed the test, right? And they sort of whisper sneak him into the bunker where the bludgeoning happens.
It's like one of those like operating rooms, old timey ones where they have like, it's like a science room. It's an old time, like a lot of tile.
Yeah, it's like a mix between a Houston like NASA listening station and an operating room, right? Like I want to say there's a window of people watching, if I remember correctly.
It feels like it's like a high school shower room they decorated.
It's a bit like where the Blade Rave was.
Oh yeah.
It is like the Blade Rave, or like the
it's like the
Alcatraz, the rock shootout scene with Michael Biehn.
I was going to say it's like the emergency tent at the Blade Rave.
Mm-hmm. Yeah,
the first aid tent.
Oh yeah, for the people who've raved too hard.
Which incidentally is Blade eventually going to be part of this?
This universe.
Yeah,
his voice at the end of the Eternals.
That means somewhere he exists.
We got ourselves a stew on that. Anyway, there you go.
So they put him in a coffin, and I think that's so if they kill him, they can just go.
They can just push that right into the ocean.
Yeah,
no need to open this up.
And they juice him up. They pump him full of juice.
They sure do.
And he becomes swole. He swolls
so
up.
swole, and you're like, oh. He's now somehow he looks real. He didn't look real before this moment.
Right.
And now he
fits
does.
his head now.
Yeah. Yes. Yeah, it's so absurd. By the way, do we agree that his spy handler already loves him at this point? We agree. Yeah, Peggy already loves him. Like immediately loves this man.
I mean, the moment he steps out of there all swole up, you know she's like, I'm going to have to to take for a ride, right? Mm-hmm. Like somebody's going to have to fuck this guy.
We got to take this around the block, man.
Yeah. Really let her gears loose. Yeah, I agree on that. My favorite thing that happens is when somehow one of the skull Nazis is in this room, right? Trying to sabotage it. Do I remember that correctly?
I definitely remember that. Yeah.
And
that
then
was happening.
This is how the colonel gets promoted to colonel, like right up top, right? So like he's in the room, there's a shootout, and then he tries to escape with plans and the serum. He's got like some of the serum, isn't that right?
Mm-hmm.
Is this where he gets in his submarine?
Yes, he gets in the submarine. I could talk for years about this submarine.
His League of Extraordinary Gentlemen like submarine.
Yes, the submarine is unbelievable.
It's like a bicycle submarine.
Yeah. Okay, so like...
It's like a submarine in a Wes Anderson movie.
Yes, it is. It's like Phoenician scheme level fucking like twee. It's the tweest submarine you've ever seen in your life.
Fucking
and this is how they test out.
Escape.
It looks like it's made out of dioramas and construction paper. It's fucking infuriating.
There's string in there, continue. Fucking string.
So Captain America rushes out of this. doesn't Tooch he gets murdered, right?
Yeah,
Yeah,
Tooch gets
by-
blasted.
He gets the
The
great
guy-
adios. Yeah.
The Nazi blast Tooch. He grabs the stuff and
Yeah.
he runs off.
Yeah.
And then this is how we stress test Captain America.
Yeah.
They're like, oh, he's so fast. And he starts
he's
going
like-
real fast.
and he's like
Colonel
leaping over
American.
shit.
Yeah, he's like
Yeah.
galloping through the street on all fours like a horse, like a really healthy,
Yeah.
powerful horse.
like Megan. It's like Megan.
Uh-huh.
Yeah. And then he catches up to the submarine, which I think I could catch up to this submarine as well.
Yeah.
I'd
Because it
also
does
pay to
feel
watch.
like it's what?
That's a movie I'd also pay to watch.
Pay me watch me
I'd
chase
love
a
it.
submarine. Yeah.
Oh my god, I'm already
And then
in.
doesn't he crack it open? He like cracks open the submarine and he's like, "Who do you work for?"
Yeah.
And then the guy,
guy cyanides
takes a poison pill.
Yeah,
Eats his tooth, yeah.
Yeah, eats his tooth. Right,
Deadly
the cyanide tooth.
It's not poison. He just chokes on it. It's just a big tooth.
Chokes on my
They give them a
tooth.
big tooth.
They gave me a jawbreaker, and I was like, "Now's the time
Yeah.
to be refreshed."
And then he
Oh,
says
no, my
Hydra
trick tooth.
rocks.
Oh
he does.
yeah.
Yeah, he does say
Which
that.
defeats the purpose of a cyanide tooth.
Right, you just told him.
Yeah.
Yeah, yeah.
What's the point? What you like? Then you might as well just stay alive, man.
They're all fanatics.
Yeah.
It's a really, really enthusiastic booster club.
Is it? So is the idea
That's why
here?
their salute is two fists up in the air. They're just so excited.
Right. Is the idea that it's like we're not doing this so you cannot give them information. We just want them to know how hardcore we are. So if you get caught, kill yourself, but tell them everything.
Yeah, tell them what they need to know.
Confuse them.
Then die. You know.
Right.
So
it's like if someone was like made you choose to kill between two loved ones and you just shoot both of them and you're like, that's so what, motherfucker? Like, I just ruined your game. Like, that's what they're doing. They're like, I'll tell you everything and die, asshole.
Yeah, that's what we want. That's what we want. That's the kind of fully erect chaos that ties a bomb
Right.
to a bat.
Right. That's how fucked up I am.
Yeah, these two definitely.
Hail Hydra, I'm
Fucking
dead.
meet cute of the century.
Yeah.
Hydra rocks, and then they die.
So he Googles Hydra after this, I assume?
Yeah.
Captain America?
He bings Hydra rocks.
Right. It would be Bing's because it's the past.
Yeah. Yeah, that's the rudimentary version of a search engine we had.
And he... Oh...
Lots of
Someone-
good stuff
why
begins
doesn't someone
happening there.
else
Well, I
explain
think
what
at this
happens
point,
next?
don't we start
This is
to
when he
learn...
goes to the USO show. Like that's what he's gonna do.
Oh my God,
They
I-
promote him to entertainer. That's right.
I totally remember always this, that they say, nah, he's no good. Right? They just basically go like, we made the super soldier. What do you want to do with them? And they're like, nah, he's no good. Let's put him on the USO.
Let's make him a celebrity. Let's make him Bob Hope.
Legit question here. I mean, I know we all remember it, so I'm doing this for the audience's sake.
Yeah, of
So,
course.
like, what was the plan with the super soldier? Just we're gonna make a bunch of them. You know what I mean? Like, they don't seem to know at all what they
So,
want to do with this.
There's a
tech.
timeline of Marvel and like, you know, the Avengers initiative where you look
Right.
at like when Nick Fury made the Avengers, he didn't have much to go on. They have even less to go on here, right? And they're not trying to make the Avengers, mind you, but it does feel like this is just your everyday World War II screwing around with science where they're like, well, the Nazis are doing it. Why can't we make a Superman? You know, like, why can't we do it? Like that's the vibes I got, which is like Tony Stark is just, they're like, we got this mad scientist. He's making flying cars and shit. We got Tooch over there. He's making serum. Let's just fuck around. Let's stick around and see what we can
Make
do.
a club.
So it's literally
Maybe we can make a real cool guy.
Right, because
He could be
Ant-Man,
cool.
doesn't Ant-Man exist also during this? Hank Pym is like, they're like, we got this guy
A
shrinking.
little bit later than this.
Yeah, I think we're just riffing. It's like Venture Brothers shit, where they're just
Yeah.
like, we're just having fun with science.
Yeah,
we're
they
just
don't know. They
pals.
don't know where this is going. They're like, hey, let's start a club.
So, like, literally everything in the 40s is Oppenheimer. Everything. Like,
Yeah.
every science experiment is like, it's probably something the Nazis are doing. We ought to give it a shot.
Right.
We gotta
and
get
I love
there
the
first.
idea where they're like, we made a shrinking man before the Nazis, and meanwhile the Nazis are like, man, we didn't even try to make a shrinking
we-
man. What are
That
we
seems like
talking
a
about?
Why
real
would you
waste
do
of
that? That is
time.
an abomination.
Yeah.
they're
Yeah.
morally outraged
What's that
by
guy
that.
gonna do? Like, you see, he's as strong as a regular man, though. And
Yeah.
it's like, okay,
Sure. Okay, we'll keep your little nonsense super juice. Annie, we're going to go keep looking for the spear of destiny.
yeah, exactly.
We
Yeah,
are deeply
Indiana
offended
Jones.
by your small man. We, the Nazis, deeply offended with that experimentation, sir. Like, we are outraged. How
That
dare
is
you?
messed up. So they send him to the USO
Yeah.
again because they really are just like we don't like him. Like
I think it's
we
just
don't
because
like him.
Tommy Lee Jones hates the shit out of him.
Right. So
And
they
the
made a
program's like
super
effectively
soldier.
ruined. He's like, we wasted the serum on you. Now we can't ever make any more
Because
because
Tucci has died.
Stooch got smoked.
Stooch-
And
so they
unfortunately,
weren't-
Stooch hadn't started publishing his cookbooks in airport bookstores yet.
Right.
So the super soldier serum was lost to time. It's not
Right.
in, not
Okay.
in
So
those
they weren't
cookbooks.
planning on making more, and they just started
Yes, he's the
with
test.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Rogers.
he's the test. Because it could go bug fuck wrong, and then you get a Red Skull.
right. And so they are just like, let's see what happens to this little guy, and then we'll use it on a real soldier after that.
Essentially.
All right.
I would love to see
But-
the roster of other human experiments to create super soldiers that didn't work.
Oh yeah, it's like Alien
Like-
Resurrection.
Yeah, just it is a horror carnival.
Yeah.
Like the stuff in this world that has
Oh,
not
yeah.
worked.
We know
out.
that we eventually learned that Isaiah, oh shoot, I forget his last name, but he was doing it's later than this actually. But they do make another super soldier and he's doing stuff in like Korea.
Right. Yeah, apparently it doesn't die with Tooch. There's like 20 super soldiers after
They keep
this.
trying to
They're
reverse
everywhere.
engineer it and it's always a little jankier.
Right. So okay.
Old Aaron Rodgers is the only one that got that pure uncut stuff.
Yeah,
Right.
He's
And Aaron
the
Rodgers,
true
like-
chosen one. Aaron Rodgers.
Tommy Lee Jones, like, he knows that he's like fast and stuff, right?
Right.
Like he does seem like an asset. It's
And
very
can
funny.
like punch through tanks.
Right. It's very
Right.
funny because Tooch dies and they're like, no one's here to advocate for you. We're just putting you on USO. That is
He's
yeah,
Tommy
that's
Lee
not-
Jones.
Yeah,
So,
I guess he
but
can do what he wants.
That is like a little bit of a nod to his natural skill, which is he's naturally a leader and an inspirer. Right?
Right.
Like
And
the
a
juice
dancer.
didn't change that. Yeah, he naturally was amazing at dancing.
yeah.
This body just let his spirit out, if you will, you know.
So they bring him around on USO to
Yeah.
like do a play, right? A musical play where he punches Hitler
Yeah.
out,
Uh-huh. Mhm.
and everybody watches and jerks off or whatever to it. And like it's a USO, it's sexy, it's a sexy show. That's the point.
Bob Hope's there.
Bob Hope's there,
Lots of golf club jokes.
Yeah.
Tons.
and he's just there to inspire people to punch Hitler, right? And he's like, "Take it from me, a genetically enhanced super soldier."
right.
That
We got to
that have
stop this
dressed
guy
up.
who wants to take over the world with his genetically superior race of
Again, it
White
feels
supremacists.
demoralizing. Like imagine
yeah.
being a soldier
Like you're trapped there.
and a guy who could lift a tank gets on stage and goes like, "You go out there and you stop Hitler. I'm gonna stay behind."
Yeah.
And I'd be like, "Dude, why don't you do it? Why
Yeah.
don't you do it?"
Acting is his myth of Sisyphus. Like Captain America
Right.
is for weeks and months pushing an emotional boulder up a hill and it rolls back down again.
Right.
That is what
And
he's doing.
Bricko is out like doing the fighting, right?
Yeah,
Yeah.
Brickhouse is having the time of his life. He's having the Green Day montage with murders, probably sleeping with people in his paid time off. You know,
Yeah.
it's great for him.
Yeah, he's going around
definitely
fucking,
riding a motorcycle,
Oh yeah,
Yeah, he's motorcycling around Germany hitting Nazis.
rolling his own cigarettes,
Yeah, he's doing an Inglorious Bastards. Like
listening
he's
to
just,
moody ass French jazz.
oh yeah, God,
Oh,
yeah.
so much of it. Yeah.
So
at this point,
Aaron Rodgers-
we've met Hydra, though, haven't we? Met this isn't
Yeah, Hydra
around
rocks.
this time when we
do
meet
we cut away?
the
Do we like
yeah.
cut away?
We meet
The Hydra? Like
yeah,
at
we
the
meet the
castle?
agents, the Hydra agents at the castle, where they're like, "Give me that fucking blue shit." Right?
Yes.
Oh, fucking
We
Toby
meet-
Maguire's
we meet
there,
Skull
right? He's
Candy.
got
Yeah.
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 Toby Maguire is like he's like his little scientist guy, right? Who's like, "Oh, whatever you say, sir.
Toby
I'm
Johnson.
gonna whip up a super soldier for you."
Yeah, Armand Zima.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Armand
He's
Zoloft.
thrilled. He seems like he has a great time doing it.
He's great. He
Right?
loves being a mad little scientist.
Hope I don't have a big face someday.
Yeah.
Hope I'm not just a big face.
I hope my face doesn't get swallowed up by a computer in the future.
Right.
That'd be a
And so-
drag. Oh well, I guess I can still do science.
they're having meetings, right? They're having meetings with Red Skull.
Yeah.
And like there's like the
with skull
Nazis
candy.
are there.
with
Right,
red
there's,
skull
like-
candy.
There's regular Nazis there,
Yeah,
and the
yeah.
regular Nazis are like the squares
Yeah.
from like The Office, where they have to like, don't they like kill them?
Yeah,
I think they're trying to
he's-
stop the program. At
He's
some point, aren't
casually,
they?
yeah. They're like, you got to stop digging for this tesseract, this blue
Right,
cube
he's
thing.
looking
It's
for a
real
cube.
dumb. Like, I know you're trying to complete the collection or whatever, but like, this is a real drain. We're
Right,
trying
he's
to
like-
take over the world here and be racist, and you're really
Just-
distracting from that.
Despite what Indiana Jones would have you believe, Hitler's not really into this stuff that much.
Yeah,
And
he's
so like
he's into it the way like like a stay-at-home parent, like a bored stay-at-home parent is into like ghost shows.
right, exactly. Like it's something to do. And so like
So, yeah, they're trying
it's
to-
clear that he started this program. He was like, I want to find this cube. Red Skull, go find this cube. And now Red Skull's just like, fucking love this cube. And they're like, okay, buddy, you're crazier than Hitler now. We're gonna have to shut this down.
And that's saying something. And we're saying,
yeah,
yeah, for sure.
And then he kills them all with the cosmic cube.
Do they? So
So he finds the cube.
do they do
No, he
the
finds the
work?
cube in the beginning of the film
Yeah,
He finds it in a temple, right? In like
Right.
in the snow in Snowland.
right. He's like is he like a Norse historian? Is it like he, or is this just like he is a collector of any leads on magic artifacts?
I think he just knew that that's where to look for it.
and it crashed
Yeah.
there because like Odin threw it.
Odin and Loki or
Yeah.
some shit. I don't know.
Yeah, that's
Like when he
Yeah.
falls. Like when he fell.
remember
Remember when he
that.
fell off the road? He fell off
I
the
remember
Rainbow
that
Road.
we had
he
a long
dropped it.
conversation about Rainbow Road. I remember that. I remember
He
that
dropped it off
distinctly.
Rainbow Road and
Yeah.
it fell through space.
He,
and
he
just
died
landed.
historic on the Rainbow Road.
Yeah, like
Right.
he was 8th place in Mario Kart. That's where that fucking
Right.
Tesseract finished.
Man, it could
Anyway.
have landed anywhere. It could have landed in like Cincinnati, but
Could've.
it chose the Arctic.
Yeah.
It's inconvenient.
Yeah, but
That's-
nice for
it's
color
inconvenient.
palettes. Really nice for
So-
a color palette.
He has his lair in the mountain. That's also where he didn't choose this lair. This was just where the Tesseract is, and he built it. And the Nazis are like, "Listen, you have a lair. This is
Yeah.
weird."
Survival game rules. Well, you kind
Right.
of build your base around the first like resource you find.
He's not Red Skull yet.
No, he is. He already took a busted ass version of the super soldier
Oh,
serum,
okay.
so it
Right.
gave him the
But
red
he's
skull
got-
candy face.
He made a mask
He
of
wears
Hugo
like
Weaving.
person face, yeah,
Yeah.
a Hugo Weaving face. So not quite person face.
I would have been really intrigued to see how he made that mask. Like that
too.
was some Buffalo Bill shit.
I
know what
want to
I
know
mean?
if that's what he looked like.
Yeah,
or
me
if
too.
that is just a guy he knew. And he was
Right.
like, I want to look like that guy.
Yeah, now that I have to get a face.
I want to
'cause
look like
my
that
God.
dude in the Matrix.
Yeah. Fuck it.
Yeah, not Keanu, not the handsome one, the evil one.
Nobody
Maybe
knew what the
yeah.
fuck he was talking about in the 1930s.
Maybe he went to a mask maker and was just like, I need the most realistic mask you can make. And they're like, okay, it's going to look like Hugo Weaving. I'm going
Yeah.
to tell you this now.
Right.
Like, that's as realistic as it gets.
Do you want him to
You're
be kind
still
of
gonna look like a
frowny
fake person.
and elven? Because that's what we can do.
Yeah.
So
That's what
It's
we
going to
got
be
for him.
close enough.
yeah,
Yeah.
yeah.
So, yeah, he's weaving out.
Mhm.
He's
He's got the humo weave.
so he uses the Tesseract to like zap the Nazis. He like electrocutes
Yeah, once
them.
they
or, like-
they slowly realize like he's explaining like his whole plan to them, and because they're Nazi fuckheads, it takes them a really really long time to figure out that Berlin is on his big map of targets on the wall.
Right.
And then they
They
go,
don't
like,
just
"That's
look at a map."
Berlin is on this list." It's like, yeah, it was like underlined. It's right there.
Right,
I
they're
don't-
trying to do this thing where it's like he's bad, but he's no Nazi. Like they're doing that vibe where it's like he also doesn't like Nazis.
He's like
he doesn't care.
He's yeah. I mean, yeah. They don't.
They
He's-
love this
he's a
idea because I
science
think-
cult within
Right.
within the Nazis. He's
think-
Hydra.
Marvel knows already that they're going to plant these like reform seeds for characters.
Right.
So they need to be like, well, he's not anti-Semitic. Like he's not a Nazi. Like he's a bad. He wants to murder everyone.
He's
And
not
he
a
dresses-
racist.
He's not a racist. Just in case we need to bring him back and like make him Loki and make him like
But
cool again.
is he not though?
Yeah, I it's the 30s,
He's-
so
he's a Nazi. Like,
Yeah.
like by the like he is a member of the party. He's in the fucking Nazi military.
got a
He
whole
is a
thing about-
Nazi.
We were just talking about Nazi being a strong word. He's a Nazi.
No, yeah,
Like,
of course.
that is-
He's got a phrenology wing we just don't see.
Oh yeah.
You know what I mean? Like he's got all kinds of shit in there you don't want to see.
But what's happening here
Yeah,
is
why do you think
basically
he turned into a demon when he took the super soldier
Right. It
serum?
brings out what's in your heart, Dave.
it
You
just
know?
makes me think of like the foot
What's in his heart is
soldiers
this big
of the
red
Nazis.
skull.
Right.
Yeah.
But like there's a lot of soldiers here, Nazi soldiers, and
Mm-hmm.
I'm not sympathizing with them, but it's got to be weird because they signed up to be Nazis. And then they're like, "Okay, you're in this division at this Arctic archaeology wing. Go." And you show up and the guy's like, "Hi, so here's the deal. You now work for me,
Well-
and I'm going to take over everything. Don't tell the other Nazis."
Well-
And it seems like people have generally been like, "Cool, fine."
Yeah, it's I believe Hydra is an extant cult at this point, right? Like they've been around for a long time. So I think the cult infiltrated the Nazis, right? To
Right, but there's got to be a point where someone's transferred. It's like if you worked at
Well,
Walmart,
right, like, not
and you went to the
everybody.
electronics section, and they were like, "We're taking over the Walmart," and you're like, "Oh, okay."
It's
And they're
gonna
like,
be
"You're
like-
either with us or we're gonna kill you."
it's it's Die Hard 2.
Yeah,
Remember they
Yeah.
get the new guy transferred to the team who doesn't know that they're all crooked, so they have to
Right.
stab him.
Dave,
Die Hard 2.
I would watch that Walmart movie too. By
Yeah.
the way.
Oh, yeah.
Like one fucking
It's a
aisle of
good
Walmarts.
movie.
That's a good idea. That's a
Yeah.
fucking good idea.
Taking over the rest of the Walmart.
Yeah, it's only gonna be fucking cosmetics. That's it. It's cosmetics. That's all we are.
That's all
So
we
anyway,
got.
yeah, I think these guys are they're Hydra first, right? The most of them.
Yeah.
And if they get a guy who, like you said, if they just get a guy who's just part of the machine or just part of the works, he probably gets smoked.
Or there's guys in the back nervously just being like, "Yeah,
Hydra rocks. Yep.
Yeah,
Sure does.
woo! I love Hydra, whatever that is." Yeah. So okay. So that's happening
Yeah.
in this movie.
Right, yes.
And then we cut back.
He kills all the Nazis and is like, "A Red Skull! Skull cutting!"
I think it's fair to say, even if you had doubts about the project, once you see that energy shit happen, you're on board with this guy.
Yeah, it's like, oh,
Yeah, he's
fuck,
like,
you made a
God, he
laser
has God
beam,
powers.
huh?
Yeah, you disintegrated a person.
That's
Yeah.
pretty cool.
Yeah.
I bet we could win the war with that thing.
Yeah.
Right. That's all he made, right? Is he's like going to put a laser, on a bunch of
yeah.
planes?
Well, I mean,
Pretty
that's
much.
the first thing he's figured out how to do. Like, I think
right.
he knows there's a stone inside of it. Anyway,
But he's just going to. What is his plan? I know we don't know this quite yet, but is his plan just to bomb everywhere?
yeah, he's gonna destroy all of these major cities.
But does he have like a special bomb?
He's
Yeah,
building
he's
tanks
using-
and shit.
Yeah. He's using the energy from the Tesseract to make like these super crazy vehicles, and also these ultra bombs.
He's invented something that in 50 years we're just going to have, it feels like.
Right.
Like lasers are cool, but in this universe they're quaint, right? Like Red Skull in 2025 would get steamrolled by like Hawkeye. Like that's what it feels like. Is like this is because it's like the 30s. They're like, "Wow, this guy has a laser. He can take over the world with his laser
Yeah.
right now."
I think the movie tries very hard to make it seem like it's more important than a laser, but it's kind of just a laser.
Okay.
I agree with you.
It's a
Meanwhile,
laser that makes bombs and
Right, yeah.
planes.
Yeah. It's
Meanwhile-
laser. It's like laser juice. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Laser plus
Yeah.
juice. Yeah.
Laser power.
doesn't Bricky get in trouble? Like something happens where Aaron Rodgers is like, "I'm still the USO guy, but we have to act."
Bricky
So they
have
Brickhouse
to take-
and his
he
unit
gets all the
gets captured.
Yeah, they get
captivated.
captured.
Right. So like Rodgers gets all the USO people, he gets the dancers and like all the techies, and he goes out on a mission to rescue Brickhouse.
Yeah, it's a real Argo
Yeah,
situation.
they Argo it.
Yeah, they Argo it. I don't remember why. I know that he sort of argues his way into like, I'll lead it, and the soldiers are like, yeah, like Captain America's here. Like they're all pumped on it, which I find hilarious.
Right.
That they
Yeah.
believe the acting is a real thing.
Right. It's
You know?
like an actor leading an army where
Right.
it's like, oh, that shouldn't work, and yet it does.
I know
They
there
go on a
was-
train.
There were newspaper headlines and stuff about Captain America. So, like, the show is based on his performance when he stopped the submarine guy, right? Like, that's how the news of him got
Right.
out.
Again, it really seems like they should use him for something else.
Right.
And so it's like, I'm sure there's a lot of soldiers like, well, surely that's all fake because he's just doing USO. And then he's like, let's go get him, and starts punching dudes. And it's like, wait a second. It's like finding out Mickey Mouse is real.
Right.
Where
Yeah.
you're just like, oh, I
Yeah.
guess there is a giant rat out there. We've just been sitting on that. and
Somebody
using it for
left a lot of
entertainment.
things out of my education.
Yeah.
I have to go rewatch Steamboat Willie just to get up
Yeah.
to speed. By the way, they tried very hard to hide that outfit, to hide that Captain America, Colonel American outfit. Like, they're putting leather jackets on him. They're doing
yeah.
all kinds of stuff to make sure you're not
Oh,
seeing it.
yeah. Wait, so is this the train? They go on a train?
Not yet. The train's where Brickhouse dies.
Spoilers. What happens? What,
This is when he
I
goes and
know-
rescues
I
him on a
remember what
motorcycle?
happens, but he goes on a motorcycle.
Yeah, he
you said.
rescues Bricky Brickhouse.
Yeah, that's right.
Definitely recall that, but why don't
And
you
then him and the
expand on
Howlin'
it for the audience?
Commandos, like Dum Dum Dugan with his goddamn hat.
Yeah, they sort of put like a team together of like memorable figures, but they don't really introduce
The
them
Howlin'
much.
Commandos.
Yeah. But they're
And
just,
these guys don't matter, right? They'll never show up again.
Oh no, they at this point in the Marvel universe, they've been dead for 90 years.
yeah,
Got it.
they're fodder with personality. They're like, so that when they die, you're like, oh, not that guy.
Yeah.
Right. That's the whole idea.
One of them is Neil McDonough in a goddamn hat.
Yeah,
Right.
It's the only way to
That's
describe that hat.
Yeah.
yeah. That's probably what
Thought
the
they
prop
could hide
master
him.
told him.
Yeah.
He was like, just put your goddamn
Put this goddamn hat
put
on.
it on.
Yeah. You're barely
And
in
he
this
was-
movie. You shut up.
He was like, I could wear something else, right? You put it on.
No, this
You shut up
character
and
is
put it on.
90% hat. Shut the fuck up and put the goddamn hat on.
I'm gonna act for you. Look at this. Here's your Oscar, motherfucker. Get out of here.
Anybody
So
can put
he-
this fucking thing on. This
He
goddamn
goes on.
hat.
He goes on his motorcycle and he like shields. He like shields stuff.
Shields and punches and
And
rescues
there's a
butt,
tank, right?
a brick.
There's a tank.
At
he, like,
one
fights
point-
a tank.
I think the tank is when he rescues the Howling Commandos. Or is that the same trip?
There's
It's
essentially one very long action sequence
That's
where
the same trip, yeah.
yeah, he has to rescue soldiers who are supposedly they're gonna die.
Right,
And then
that's right. And then
they're-
but
they're gonna
Bricky's
go-
not with them. They're interrogating him. So it's like, we
Correct.
got to go get Bricky. And that's when the Howling Commandos are like, we'll help you. Look at this goddamn hat.
yeah.
right.
I have no
He was
choice.
like-
Like the hat's holding a gun.
Yep.
And then they go on a train.
That's later. That's when they.
Son
they're-
of a bitch.
Yeah, the train's later. They go and rescue Bricky Brickhouse, and then we get a montage of Cap.
Where do they
Colonel
rescue
American.
Bricker?
He's being interrogated inside a base, like in a second location.
Oh, right. I definitely remember this. Okay.
And that's we get a montage in newspapers that are like, hey, Colonel American, pretty good at soldiering. Turns out.
Yeah, it turns
You know,
out like
soldier
superhumans
after
are
all.
real. Like we can make
yeah,
them.
yeah.
So
This
now
guy
he
can
just
rip
starts
tanks
doing the
open.
war. He just starts doing the war with Bricko.
Yeah. He basically
With
he
Bricktop?
gets to lead the Howlin' Commandos. He's got his little team of GI Joe guys. They're all individual characters with goddamn hats, and we get a montage of their
hilariously-
missions.
And he hilariously refuses to ever use a gun. Like, stop and think about that. I know why
Yeah.
that had to happen.
No, he does.
He refuses to carry one into battle. Like, he'll use one in a makeshift way once in a while, but he's refusing to like be a soldier. You know what I mean? No, I'm
Right,
gonna run in
yeah.
there and
Correct me if I'm
improv
wrong, but
this
a,
shit.
a bullet could kill him, right?
Yeah.
If it hits
Yeah.
him, yeah. Well,
Yeah. So that
no.
doesn't seem.
like you'd have to hit him in the right spot, or it'd have to be a really strong bullet.
Could Superman returns him, right? Bullet in the eye. I feel like that'll
yes,
do
that
it.
would
Sure.
work. That would probably work. But like,
He's
well,
yeah,
actually, I'm
he
not even
doesn't-
sure about that. Like, because he can get punched by the Hulk.
Yeah.
That's true.
Not a lot, but once at least.
Seems like that
Hulk-
should have been
listen.
part of the experiment. They're like, see,
It's-
How many Hulk
what
punches
kills
can you take?
Yeah.
Can you absorb
Yeah.
this punch from the Hulk?
Look, we're gonna need
could
to have
probably,
cards
like-
where we compare relative strengths later in the '90s. So, like, you're gonna have to take 8 or 9 punches. We could stack it up, get some stats.
How does a Hulk punch not kill him, but time can? Like he's still time. He still ages.
I don't
Yeah, I
think
guess it doesn't.
Biden
I guess
in
it
that
doesn't
last
have
one.
anything to do with that cell deterioration.
Yeah.
I don't think you know this, Dave, but everything dies after 90 years. I don't
That's
know
fair.
if you're aware of this, Dave.
No, Thor doesn't.
Everything. Well, that's fair.
Yeah.
Yeah,
That's
everything
what
but
I'm
Thor,
saying.
Dave.
He has like Thor strength, but he can't. He still has to fucking.
No, it's like a fraction of Thor's strength, but yeah.
Yeah, but if all I'm saying is that I want to be able to kill Captain America with a gun. That just makes me feel better. But it sounds like I can't. I don't get to.
No,
Could I pin him
Crossbones
down
did.
and chop his head off?
Again,
I don't know
yeah,
what kind of knife you're
it'd
talking
take
about.
you a minute. Yeah, you'd have to
Yeah, it'd
find
take
the
a
right
minute.
knife. Like,
If you got a blade made of the Tesseract, Dave,
Yeah.
you know,
I mean, I think a
then
lot of
you
like,
could do it.
like Spider-Man's. Like most of these metahumans have a
Wolverine.
degree.
Could Wolverine chop his head off?
Oh yeah.
Okay.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, that's the premise of Wolverine. This guy could
makes
kill
me feel
Captain
better.
That's
America
why they.
with his
That's why they
claws.
made Wolverine. Wolverine was made to kill the Hulk.
Right.
Yeah.
But yeah, no. Every superhuman is like bulletproof to a minor degree. You know.
Right.
Like
So,
like in the
I guess
movie,
that
they have trouble getting a
explains-
needle into Spider-Man's skin at the hospital. Anyway.
Right. That explains why he's like swinging his big dick on the battlefield.
Yeah,
Just
and he's
like,
got his shield.
I don't
He's
really
just
need a
shooting
gun.
people with his handgun. Like he's not using a rifle.
Well, good for him. So like we get a montage of him murdering Nazis.
Yeah, running missions.
them howling up them Nazis doing
Yeah, they do
Inglourious
a-
Bastard
They
stuff.
did, exactly. It felt like they were doing a real Inglorious Bastards. Yeah,
That goddamn hat belongs in Inglorious Bastards.
absolutely.
That's
you could
that's
have
an Inglorious that bastard hat.
put
And
that on
then-
Brad Pitt.
Yeah,
Don't tell me you couldn't have.
That
You easily
facial
could've.
expression is essentially that hat.
Yeah, just put that jutting chin he was doing on that hat. Oh, you got it yourself. That's
In the
that's a
scene where they're
protagonist.
speaking Italian, that look he has on his face, that's
Oh, yeah.
that's the facial expression equivalent of this hat.
Yep.
Is Peggy involved? Is she like va va voom? Look at this Nazi killer.
She's giving him intel.
Yeah.
Right? She's an intel giver.
Okay.
She does
You know,
missions
part
of a
of the
different
research.
sort, as we will eventually learn in her spin-off series,
Right.
and we get the inkling of it here as well. But she's
She's
like of
also
a
giving
higher
him-
upper echelon.
She's giving him professional distance. Mm-hmm. Right? Like
Right.
not the amount of intimacy he wants, but professional intimacy, right?
Right.
Yeah.
And then they go to the train.
Then the train happens.
They're like, we have a train. It's a train level. We got a train
mission.
level.
We need you to go kidnap Armand Zoloft before his face becomes a TV.
Right, and we're gonna go car by car, and there's different bad guys in each car, and
Yeah.
you fight each bad guy.
You played Red Dead Redemption. It's gonna be like
Yeah.
that. Yeah.
And then they get to a bad guy with a wicked gun. He has a
Yeah, that's
wicked
right. It's one of the
gun. They go to
Hydra-
a bad
it's one of the
guy with a
Hydra dudes.
wicked gun.
Because he's given his Hydra dudes Skull Candy has given them Tesseract Cosmic Cube based
Right.
weaponry. So now they've got
He's
all
not
these
a-
fuck off guns that are awesome.
He's not a mini boss. He's like a heavy, the kind
Yeah,
of
a
you're
heavy
like,
enemy, yeah.
You
Yeah,
save
yeah.
your grenades for him,
Yeah.
or something
but
like that.
if he gets you at the right point, like they get him there, he's essentially getting him at the end of the stage here. They can really fuck
Yeah.
you up.
Yeah, where you don't have many power ups or
Mm-hmm.
lives or whatever. And so Bucky falls off the train.
Yeah. Off a mountain.
That's
too.
right.
It's
Off
more
a mountain.
yeah.
He
It's one of the mountain
falls
trains.
several miles
Yeah.
into a frozen river and immediately becomes an ice cube.
It's impossible for him to have survived by looking at it.
Yes.
If you just look at it, he couldn't have survived.
There's no way he could still be alive. That's
Right.
the end
Well,
of that.
Yeah, I
Right.
think the implication is like part way down, he sold his soul to the devil.
Oh, okay.
He compromised on the way down. That's right.
Yeah.
You know?
So he's gone. Aaron Rodgers is like, no, Bucky.
Fuck Bricky Brickhouse, and then he discovers that he can't get drunk.
Right. So he does heroin.
Probably
right?
wouldn't
like
work
he has
either.
to do heroin.
He'd have to
He's
use a
trying.
lot of it.
Yeah, I bet
He'd be the
I'd
king
bet.
of heroin, though.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
He'd win heroin.
Mm-hmm.
He would. Oh man, it'd be that scene where like, so the scene in Lord of the Rings where they're all drinking.
They're all
with
doing
Legolas?
heroin.
Yeah. It'd be that. It'd be
See the
train
Lord of the
spotting.
Rings, where they all go to a trap house.
Right. No, but it'd be like
my
train
God, the orcs
spotting.
The
keep coming.
prancing pony, indeed.
They keep coming, the orcs.
It's just the prancing pony. It's just like one of those old opium den drawings.
I see him in my nightmares, man. Let's escape.
That's just the beginning of From Hell.
That's why you
But
never really
that
get a
scene
clear
where-
epilogue for Merry and Pippin. Like, you don't want to hear how their story
No,
ends.
no, it went dark.
Yeah.
They really started to spiral.
Yeah.
Things,
It was always
things
gonna be
really
that
fell
way for
apart for
them.
them.
Yeah. But it'd be that everybody would be ODing and he'd be like, wait, I think I felt something.
Yeah.
And doing like his sixth heroin.
Don't have Aaron Rodgers at your party, man. That's
Yeah.
That's just
He'll,
good life
he'll
advice.
eat all your heroin. Yeah.
Yeah.
So he does heroin and he's sad. And then he does other stuff.
Like at some point he breaches the professional distance between him and Peggy,
Yes,
and
they
it's
grief
like,
fuck.
I like what you're up to. And she's like, if only we could get together, but you got to do this mission first.
They like fuck on a cot or something, or they like it's a lot of like feeling. It's third base. They third base it,
Yeah.
right?
Yeah.
Like-
it's like homecoming dance level of intimacy.
Right. A lot of heavy
Yeah.
petting,
Yeah.
Yeah.
and then he's got to go
somebody
kill
got squeezed.
Red Skull.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Then we got to
Yeah.
go bust up Red Skull's hangar because Tommy Lee Jones is like, it's time.
And they do.
Been hiding out
they
here in the
do,
side
like,
of a mountain because they interrogate Armand Zola. Remember Zola?
Yes, that's right.
Where
Right.
he's like, brought you dinner. I'm gonna eat the steak in front of you. You can tell me everything I want to know.
Right. He slurps that steak.
He does. He
I got to
slurps it
tell you,
right
young
up.
man, this is great steak. You're a fool for not eating it.
Yeah.
You're not going to find a better steakhouse anywhere in this city.
That
Trust
was
me,
actually-
I've tried.
That was actually how Tommy Lee Jones got paid for this movie.
No. He
Steak.
brought
He was like,
that
"I'd like a
steak with
steak."
him.
Steaks.
Yeah.
I don't know. Write it into the scene. I'm gonna sit here and eat this steak. You guys figure it out.
Right lines. Yeah. There's just cutaways to people being like, "What are you gonna eat that steak?" All right, you're eating that steak.
It's
So
he's
weird
eating
how you're
steak.
eating that steak, and your name is now Tommy for some reason.
Your character's name is now Brigadier General Tommy Lee Jones. Okay.
So they set up like a Kaiser Soze trap here, right? Because like Aaron Rodgers gets kidnapped by Hydra. Right?
Yes.
They
Yes.
they bust into the base and he gets kidnapped. They get brought into his mountain room and they're like, "We got you, Aaron Rodgers, now to kill you." And he goes, "Haha, but I have zipliners coming to zipline through your mountain."
They do. They
And they
bust
just
through that
zip
big
line
window,
right
that
in
big
that room.
spy window that every fucking mountain fortress is required to have.
And Red Skull is
well,
like,
you
"Why
wanna-
didn't you just do that to begin with? If you knew where my office was, right?" Like,
You want to have natural light, Tom. You know what I mean? Like,
Yeah.
you don't want to live in fluorescent light. It really
true.
kills the human spirit. You
That's
need
true.
natural
Yeah,
light.
yeah. We can't. We were not meant to live in tin cans.
That's
They're
just
also-
basic architecture right
Yeah,
there.
they're also
our spirits
ziplining.
need room to take flight.
They're also ziplining from one Alp to another. Like they're
Yes.
like
Yes,
they're
they are.
ziplining 5 miles across
Yeah.
a mountain range.
I said G.I. Joe earlier. Here it is again.
Yeah. Mm-hmm. And they punch him. They punch him.
Yeah, I mean,
And he
there's
gets a-
pew-pews and punches. We got to
Right.
stop Red Skull's bombers from taking off to nuke the cities, but one takes off. So Tommy Lee Jones gets in a Jeep. He's like, "Get in the fucking car,
I love
young
you now.
man."
They love each other.
Yeah.
They kiss.
But this is where Tommy Lee, and this is the scene where Tommy Lee Jones does not even make an effort to pretend he is driving a Jeep.
No.
Right.
Just frozen hands at 10 and 2. This is what they teach you at like driver's ed. 10 and 2
Right.
don't move a single muscle. You know?
Not even in his face.
I mean, I know what happened here. It's Tommy Lee Jones, right? And this is like what 2000. This is like the
2011.
late 2011. And he hasn't done, I don't think, too much effects stuff. And they probably brought him on a set, and he was like, "All right, so where's the Jeep scene?" And they're like, "It's right here." And he's like, "This is just a chair in front of a green screen. Like, where's the Jeep scene? Where's the hangar?" And they're like, "This is the hangar. Sit in this chair, pretend you're driving." And I can see him being like, "But I'm not driving." And they're like, "Just pretend." And he's like, "Fucking sure, man." okay, beep, beep, here I go. I'm driving. We're not in a hangar. I was promised a hangar. This isn't fun at all.
I'm going back to my trailer until you bring me.
I thought, I was told this was a hangar. On the script, it said interior hangar. I thought we were making a movie.
See, actors do a thing called the fourth wall. I've created the hangar in my mind. You're asking me to erase it. I'll be back in my trailer doing that, young man.
All right. So what you're going to get is me driving a chair. Here's your fucking chair driving.
And it looks like he's driving a chair for all the world, like he's driving a chair.
They're like, all right, Tommy, that was great. We're just going to do one more take. And he is left.
No, you're not.
Yeah, he is out the door.
I think we got it.
So then so they kiss and then he gets on the plane, right?
Yep.
Yeah. He shares a passionate kiss with Margaret Peggy Carter and Tommy Lee Jones, and he climbs aboard.
All three of them. Smooch.
They get into like one of the closest to death like cliffhangs I've ever seen with a car, right?
Yes.
Do you remember that correctly? Like on a level of like, you wouldn't be okay walking away from that. Like that would really fuck you up. You would not be okay.
You wouldn't be able to stand up for like the next 10 minutes.
Absolutely not. There's no way.
You'd be trembling so terribly.
Then we go to the plane, right? He's on the plane.
He's on the plane.
Oh, yeah.
He kills a bunch of Hydra guys pretty hilariously. He throws one of them into the big fan engine, and that's fun.
Right. Oh, wait. Where's Red Skull?
He's flying the plane.
Okay, so we haven't forgotten Red Skull. Because I remember, I'm seeming to remember they were over like a pit of fire earlier, and he was like, I'm Red Skull. And he takes off his face, and they're like, you are Red Skull.
That's earlier when they're...
That was in the hangar.
It's about midway through the movie. It's a different mission.
Yeah. Right. That's the first rescue mission where they like see each other across the flame bridge.
That's right. Yes,
and that's where they capture the dude who they end up interrogating.
That's
now,
right. Yes.
Yeah. Now Red is flying. He's flying.
He doesn't bother with human face anymore. It feels like once he showed
it's a mask off situation.
Once everybody knows you're Skull Candy, just like fucking be Skull Candy.
And you know it must feel good not to wear like
it all,
on your skin. You're breathing.
Absolutely.
Yeah, but that's true. But it's funny to me that once he shows it to Colonel American, that's when he's like, well, now I really don't have to hide it from anybody.
Right.
Now he's seen it, so.
Now I think about it, or it feels bad, right? Where it's just like, this hurts all the time. It hurts all the time.
That was my thought. It was like looking at it like, that looks like you need some vitamin D.
Yeah.
Like you need some creams. Yeah.
Yeah. I am in pain. That's mostly what I want to do is kill everybody, including myself.
It looks like the world's worst sunburn forever.
Yeah.
You know?
Like he can't, that's why he became a villain. He can't cry. He has to just be evil.
Yeah.
So they fight it out, right? They duke it. They duke each other.
They do.
They duke on each other.
Lots of duking on each other. Yeah.
Lots of duking, and eventually Skull Candy gets swallowed by the freaking cosmic cube.
Right, and then we later learn that is an entrance to a hillside where a guy's like, hi, you work here now. And he's like, what? And they're like, yeah, you work here.
This is also where
your
you
job
live.
now. Yeah. You're like a monk now. And honestly, when you think about it, it's not that bad. Like, it's not good. Like, I wouldn't, but it's like, it's fine. You can read a book. Most of the time,
It
no
could
one's
have
around.
been worse.
Yeah, most of the time, no one's bothering you. You're just a greeter. Like, that's it. And, like, how often do people show up on this mountain? Like, in Infinity Wars or whatever, that's a rush. Like, that's the first time. 2 people, he should be, by the end of that, being like, holy shit, things are busy, aren't they? What's going on out there? Because it's been, hundreds of years of nothing. Anyway, so that's what he's doing. And then Captain America's like, I don't want to live anymore. I'm going to crash this plane. Right?
Yeah.
Like he's just like, I'm
sick
done.
of this world. Yeah.
I'm sick of this world. Tommy Lee Jones was mean to me. Peggy is like, no, don't. And he's like, I don't fucking care anymore. I'm going to take your necklace.
I'm putting this fucking thing down.
Right, and I'm gonna take your necklace. I'll put it in my prison wallet just in case I get frozen or something, and I want to keep it. And and I'm crashing this into the ice. Fuck everything.
Nothing could ever get worse than this. I know that already.
Right.
Time to go.
And he crashes and dies.
Yes.
Yep.
The end.
At least if you think of body temperature as being a key ingredient to life, which I
Right,
think
or-
science does.
If you think of every other movie after this just happening, in his like what dreams may come after life.
Yeah.
Like
Which I
we
often
don't
do.
know.
Yeah.
Yeah. That's the movie, right?
Pretty much.
Yeah.
And then there's credits.
Well, we get
And the credits are old timey.
Yeah, and then we get a little post-credits thing where Aaron Rodgers wakes up in the future. He runs outside and sees future Times Square, and Nick Fury arrives, and he's like, let me tell you about the Avenge Initiative.
Right.
Mm-hmm.
And he's standing next to Tom Cruise from Vanilla Sky.
Yeah.
Also.
And he's hearing Radiohead, and he's like, what the hell's going on?
Yeah.
What the?
That's not music. That's screaming. That's how the demons
Yeah.
sound.
And then he Googles the Holocaust and a bunch of other things he missed, and
Yeah.
it's going to be real weird for
Yeah.
a couple weeks.
Spends a
And
week or two
is
on
dark.
Woodstock.
Yeah. He's going to be like, wow.
Learns about
So-
cryptocurrency.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. He is going to fall into
He
a
gets
crypto
red
scam.
pilled immediately. He buys an NFT. Tries to crash his plane into the ocean again when he figures out what an NFT is.
Yep.
Yeah.
Yep.
It's a long montage.
It's the only thing you can do at that point.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's all set to that Evanescence song we all remember.
Uh-huh.
It's a real journey he goes
My
on.
Immortal. Yeah, that I remember.
Yeah,
that one.
that's
Yeah.
Thank you.
And that's leads to the next film
Yeah.
and the end of the phase out. We're going to get to the phase out soon.
Mhm.
And that is the after credits. So they haven't teased Fanny. They haven't teased Loki. They haven't teased it just occurred to me like how little lead up there is. I could have
Other than
sworn they
they
were going to
keep
do a
s-
Thanos.
They keep saying the word Avenge Boys. You know what I mean? They keep saying that.
right. I'm just surprised now that I think about it. I forgot that Thanos doesn't show up yet at all.
Doesn't he show up? Oh, I guess it's in the after the credits from the first movie, the first Revengers or whatever, right? We see him.
So.
We see him. Yeah, there. Yes.
Yes, I just thought he showed up earlier.
No, it's
I
not
could've
until the
sworn.
Avengers. Yeah.
Yeah.
Wow, movies.
Yeah.
Well, a lot of the first. I mean, we'll remember it, but a lot of the first movie is just kind of everybody meeting each other. It's a good hour of that.
Yeah,
know what I mean?
we'll recount it. We'll recount
Yeah,
it for
we'll
sure.
remember it
But
exactly.
it is it is a little bit of because I remember they have to they got Ruffles now, so they got to ease us into Ruffles, and it's sort of it feels like the Hulk. They kind of are they almost pretend the last Hulk movie didn't they don't pretend it doesn't exist, but he's just in South America again. He just keeps resetting to the end of the Ang Lee Hulk.
Yeah, where else
if
would
I
he go?
remember.
Yeah.
And and it's I don't know. We'll get to it. We'll remember it
Yeah. Perfectly.
because that's what we do. We remember things.
As
Yeah.
we did this time.
We're the
Rememberers.
storytellers.
Yeah.
We're the memory
I-
keepers.
I find it amazing that they decided to bring back the old Captain America outfit, right? Which is a thing they needed to do. I get that, right? But not the song. Not the Captain America song. You know the one I'm talking about from the 60s?
Hey there, I'm Captain America. Hey there,
I'm a nice
That one.
guy. Yeah.
I'm a nice guy. Yeah, they didn't bring that back.
Yeah. They didn't, and I was very surprised.
Yeah,
Yeah, they should have.
yeah. I mean, I got to be honest. I don't know the comics. I don't know comics.
Well, but the song
I don't
was
remember
kind
the
of
comics like I remember the movies. I know the movies, obviously, as people can tell from this. But the comics, I haven't read a single Marvel comic. Period.
Really?
Okay.
I've read quite a few, but I'm not a fan. But I did own the cards in the 90s. That's my touchstone for. They had a big trading card business in the 90s that was a big boom for them before they started making movies.
When the first Iron Man came out, my reaction was, "Who is that?"
That's great.
Who is that character?
That's great.
And then I saw a picture, and I was like, oh, I sort of remember that thing.
And then Robert
like,
Downey Jr.
in comic books.
like came right.
Yeah, I
like,
was talking about Robert Downey Jr. I was like, what is that?
He fucking Sicario'd you. He stuck his dick right in your face.
Yeah.
And was like, you remember me now?
Yeah.
You remember me now, Dave? You remember?
Exactly.
You don't fucking forget. You don't forget me.
Oh, man. I guess that's it. I guess we marveled.
We did.
Yeah.
We're marveling. We're a couple of marvelers.
It was
Man,
astounding.
we're just a bunch of Marvel heads. I'm so glad we get to keep meeting around the fire like this
Yeah, and well, I
to
mean,
keep this tradition alive. It's so
honestly,
important.
to everybody listening, you're welcome. Right? You're welcome for this. So now you don't have to like leading up into the new movies, into the Amazing Four, and whatever else they're doing. You don't have to watch them all. You can just listen to a podcast series that's slightly shorter than the movies.
This is
And
more entertaining than the movies was.
Just a little bit shorter.
Yeah.
Yeah, just a little
Yeah.
bit shorter and a little more entertaining. Yeah, you're right.
A little more.
Do people want to plug things? You want to plug stuff here at the end? Adam, you want to plug? You want to plug it in?
I will plug my information in your listening hole.
Yeah.
Here it is. Please come check out any of my podcasts over at the Small Beans Network if you have not already, where we talk about video games and Cowboy Bebop, and we talk about stuff with Maggie Mae Fish. Also, I have a video podcast with her called Lynchpins that we're definitely going to keep going. She's been working on a secret project that's coming out soon.
Ooh.
So that's taken some of her time, but we're going to get back to Lynchpins soon enough. And I think that's all the things I can sell you today.
What's your phone
Yeah.
number?
Oh, thanks for asking. 555 Adam. You know what I mean? I got
hey.
555
Nice.
Adam. Can you believe it?
Wow.
Yeah.
That's rare.
Can you even?
I'm going to, well, this might be on our Patreon, actually. I'm not sure. I think we're going to do Avengers on our Patreon. I think that
Oh,
will
yeah.
be
That's the right move.
big exclusive one. So I think this will be free. So like if people want to listen to the rest of Marvelin, you go to patreon.com/gamefullyunemployed, GAMEFULLY, unemployed on Patreon. Patreon, we have exclusive podcasts such as Marvelin, such as Tom and Jeff Watch Batman, Fox Mulder's a Maniac, Star Trek The Next Futurama, Spiel Boys, Himboos, which is our supernatural podcast. We watch movies every Friday night. That's a tier. But those exclusive podcasts, all $5. It's the cost of just a movie ticket.
Just $5
today.
little dollars.
Definitely what a movie ticket costs. Just $5.
Yeah. We also have a store. Head over to gamefullyunemployed.com. You can find a link to our Teespring store. We have all kinds of cool original artwork by cool original artists like Michael Vincent Bramley, Starlene Hodge, Justin Brown, and others. So check that out. Rate, review our podcasts wherever you listen to your podcasts. Check out our new show, Badical, BADICAL, wherever you listen to your podcasts. I think that's it.
Yeah.
Bye.
And
Oh, wait, what?
well, I wanted to close us down with Captain America's famous phrase.
Yeah.
I'm going to crash this plane.
Yeah.
I'm going to commit suicide by crashing this plane. It's on the poster.
He shouts it.
He
Yeah.
does. He shouts. He shoves the grenade down the front of his pants.
Yeah.
I'm
And I'm
gonna
pretty sure
crash
that-
this plane.
Also, I'm pretty sure they give his shield out after the movie. We don't even see the shield in this movie because we haven't mentioned it at all. It doesn't show up. Shows
No.
up between this one and the...
He just puts his hands together
Yeah.
and
Yeah.
he paints a little, like a little,
And
like a
sends
flag
it at
on
him.
it.
Here you
Yeah.
go.
Yeah.
He just makes shield noises. Pang,
Yeah.
pang,
Pung,
pang,
pung,
pang, pang.
We're marveling. What's your price to fight? To travel back in time to 2009.
No, wait, it's 2008. It's fucking 2008. God fucking damn it. That's what we get for fucking marveling.